Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, accompanied by Queen Taylor.
Today we are checking out a really cool, exciting video that was a poll winner from our Patreon. So this is something brand new to us, but people are really excited about it. So we're checking out the life-changing journey of being selected as a Gurkha.
So from what I researched what a Gurkha was, essentially they're from Nepal and they're like a special forces or just a part of the British Army that gets selected, which I don't understand because I don't think Nepal is a part of the British Empire. Maybe at one point in time they were, but
yeah, I don't know that.
So what I want to know is like, why are people from Nepal being recruited into the British Army?
Yeah, I'm curious about that as well. I'm hoping they touch on that a little bit, but if they don't, it's definitely something we'll look up after.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to give anything away in the video potentially, but we've got some questions.
And it's also interesting because our editor is from Nepal, so we're able to see, it's really nice to be able to see like kind of how life is out there. I mean, he always shows us beautiful pictures of mountains and stuff like that, but the everyday, the day to day.
You think it's going to be showing places in Nepal?
I can imagine it would be, right?
Okay. I wasn't expecting it to.
Really? They wouldn't just go to Nepal and I mean, who knows?
I don't know.
We paused it. It's like 1 second into this video and it's saying en route to North Yorkshire. So yeah, okay, maybe not.
February 2019.
All right, you guys, let's hop on over the video and let's get started. I'm super intrigued.
This is Gurkha class of 2019.
They're young.
They are young.
400 trainee soldiers, the biggest intake to set foot in the UK in over 30 years.
Wow.
Most are just teenagers, and their journey began thousands of miles from here.
See, this is what I'm used to.
Beautiful.
Nepal. It's a small nation wedged between India and China, the mighty Himalayas running down its spine. It remains one of the world's poorest and least developed countries, and for 200 years the British Army have recruited some of its strongest young men with the blessing of the Nepalese. Every year, 10,000 apply to join, pledging to fight and potentially die for a country and a queen on the other side of the world. It's a friendship like no other, That's British wonderful. Foreign Legion, over 200 years old. With the
So it was interesting that they made the it still didn't quite touch on why.
No.
It's just a trade agreement or a pact between the two countries where the British Army is basically just recruiting, which for the people in Nepal, I feel as though it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Same here. It would be just like a great opportunity for someone to go travel the world, get out of their norm, do something different with them.
Yeah, but why? I'm curious as to why. Like, why Nepal? Maybe they give like British citizenship and they can stay there after the fact and get out of, because they said it's one of the poorest and least developed countries. Maybe it's like offers a chance at a better life.
Yeah.
Once you're out.
I think the whole better life thing is subjective because I mean, like, if Nepal is all you know, you can make whatever kind of life you want out of it. But
well, yeah, I'm obviously saying for people that feel like they want a better life.
Yeah.
It's not a better life to everybody, of course.
But I am curious as to the main reasoning why as well. Because just an agreement, I feel like that's not enough. But maybe that's all it is. Maybe they're just two countries that are like, hey, we'll do this for you. I don't understand what necessarily Nepal gets out of it, though.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
UK's crisis in recruitment, we're 200 years old. With the UK's crisis in recruitment, we need them more than ever. But how do you find the very best Gurkhas? How do the British Army protect them from the corruption so rife in Nepal? And once in, is it all they dreamed of?
Gurkha company.
It's awesome.
The first stage of selection for the British Army takes place each year in September, one in the west of Nepal in Pokhara and one in the east, here in hot, sticky Dharan. Young men from all around get up in the early hours and travel miles to be here for a chance of a job in the British Army.
Today we got
so
one
young.
hilly district, that's Dankuta, and we got 5 Tarai districts. Normally they're farming background, especially in Tarai district, they're farming backgrounds, and hilly district also farming background. But nowadays most of the boys from the hills do come down to the cities, near the cities, for a better education, better life, or probably better facilities as well. Yeah.
This year, the recruiting campaign was bigger than ever before. They advertised on every one of Nepal's 72 radio stations, and the recruiting officers, retired Gurkhas known as Gulawallas, travelled to all corners of the country, gathering young men together on football pitches, tennis courts and cafes. They modernised their website. Potential recruits, known as PRs, could even email Deputy Head of Recruiting Major Sandy Nightingale personally. And they did.
Sandy Nightingale. What a sick name.
That's a really cool name.
Personally. And they did.
I do get quite a few emails from PRs asking some quite various questions, from are my teeth okay with photographic evidence to can women join this year? What we're trying to do is dispel the myth that only certain Nepalis can join the British Army. It's still amazing to me that people think it's only certain castes, people think that you have to be rich, people think all kinds of things that are all wrong. We will take anyone who's good enough. We make sure there's a British officer on every single stand as well, just so no one could think, oh, I'm a Gurung, he's a Rai, maybe he's going to give me a worse mark.
There are 125 castes or ethnic groups throughout Nepal, and historically, Gurkhas came from just 4 of these groups.
Wow.
Over the years, the army has succeeded in reaching more diverse sectors of society, in part thanks to its dedicated team of Gulawallas who go out in tireless search of the best young men.
So these castes, so what you're saying is it used to be like that, right? Like it used to be only 4, I guess, castes
like
were
notoriously it's been 4, but they've recently been
from
reaching out
discrimination and all
Yeah.
that, like getting into place. Now they're like level playing field. This is an opportunity for everyone.
everybody. Yeah,
I love that. That's actually really cool.
it's really interesting. Out of so many different classes, that so few were the ones.
Yeah.
Like 4 out of 125. That's massive.
Right?
This year's newest and most baby Gulawalla, aged just 45, made a dramatic entrance, bringing in record numbers from the east.
Heck
Wow,
yeah.
I'm really enjoying my job. Because I want to do something for my countries, the British Army. Everybody know in the world, this is one of the best army in the world.
Due to the searing heat, the 800-metre run has become the first test of the day, and the locals have turned out to cheer the boys on.
Aww.
Or perhaps eye up the competition.
Stand by. Go!
With the futures of so many potential recruits resting on the selection process, there is no room for human error.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every single score that's written down gets checked by someone else. And I personally will check every single score of those who are selected. Then the Chief of Staff will check every single score of those who are selected.
Wow.
In order to understand fairness, you have to understand Nepali society generally. Nepal is a country where people pay money to get just about everything. And therefore, for us to kind of display ourselves as being free, fair and transparent, we have to go to huge lengths to convince people that that's the case.
Wow.
We'll tell them not to pay money to anyone to get into the British Army.
So that's like, it makes me think of, you read stories about like going to Mexico and corrupt police officers, and they'll pull you over and say you did something wrong.
You're like,
and
hey,
then they're like, you go to jail or you give me 200 pesos or something, you know, like that. It's like they're just used to
having to pay,
to money being for everything. So yeah, like don't listen to anybody if they say that you need to pay. That's
We'll tell them
Yeah.
not to pay money to anyone to get into the British Army.
The first exam is maths.
Similarly, in the exam hall, every question must be unique. By 3 p.m, the test paper will be in the local bazaar, being sold for a few rupees.
Well, writing the papers is extremely difficult. We do keep them under strict lock and key, and then in order to generate those papers, to proofread those papers, to proofread them again and again, because if there are any dramas on the day, it is unfortunately a cohort of young boys who are going to suffer, and we do not want that to happen.
One focus of this year's campaign has been to filter out potential problems early to avoid wasting recruits' efforts, emotions and money. Major Nightingale has introduced a new test to regional selection. Hyperextending elbows, some call it noodle arm, is an immediate fail, so this is now checked early. Throughout the day, if the recruits fall short on anything, they head straight to the dreaded Chowtari and then home.
wow.
These boys will give everything to try and get into the British Army. I'm not saying that a British soldier is not equally motivated to join the British Army, but the difference with these guys is their whole families put pressure on them to join the British Army. If they get into the British Army, their whole family's life will change forever. And that's the context that we're working with. 1456, Nishcha.
wow, it's kind of like winning the lottery.
That really puts it into perspective. That comment actually
Got you a little emotional.
that made me a little bit emotional, yeah, because it's ooh.
So they're I feel the same way, like the motivation, like I'm trying not to say something offensive because I don't want it to be offensive, especially because we know people from Nepal. But I feel as though the life-changing aspect of it, you know, carries between, so it makes it kind of sound like they do get citizenship and they do get access, and immediate family might be able to also travel or at least send money home. I really don't know.
Yeah, if they're making money, they're sending money home. Yeah, it's obviously, if it affects the whole family, then it obviously, there's something to it.
And when you have that kind of, I don't want to say it's like hitting the lottery, but for maybe some of these people it is. But, you know, for developed nations like, you know, Britain and America, I don't even care to put America in there, but we have optionality. It's not life or death. And I feel like for some of these people, it is life or death scenarios where for, you know, you either want to fight for your country or you don't. And a lot of people don't.
That's what made me emotional, is because, you know, when this video started, I'm thinking like, cause you know, I had made a comment that they're young. Like these kids are so, I call them kids because they're young, not because they're children and not because they're not worthy of being called men, but they're young. They are young adults. And so they're just young men. And so, you know, I made that comment about them being young, and I was like, holy smokes, look at all these young men that like want to go out there. And, you know, I had assumed like maybe they could get a better life, like potential to a better life if that's the way they feel. But I didn't think about it like affecting their families, and, you know, their families either going with them or them having more money and like being able to have a better life, even if they stay in Nepal. And so, you know, initially I was like, all these young men want to go like do this, like they're signing up because they want to.
So selfless.
But yeah, but then them saying, you know, like their families put pressure on them made me realize like some of these guys, like some of these men might not, you know, like they feel pressured to go, and they're like, you know, like it just makes me wonder how many of them are like, you know, this is not even my country. What happens if I die? You know, they're just like having all of those thoughts and things like that. But yeah, but with it being, which I know, you know, culturally, like some cultures is just they're born and bred that way, you know, where they know that they have duties that they need to kind of carry out with their family. Like some, you know, get married young and they get traded, like all these things. So it's like very different to
Arranged
us
marriage.
and what we're used to and things like that. So it's like maybe it's no big deal to them, but just like I think maybe the empath in me and like my mama heart, that just made me like very sad because
You know-
nobody, like most people don't enjoy going to war. They don't
Yeah.
enjoy fighting and killing and, you know, watching their friends die and knowing that they could die and things like that. But if you're doing it for like a sense of pride in your own country, it's like, you know, gives you a little bit more of that. But knowing these guys, it's like just harder.
So I want to add one more thing, and then we'll continue on. Can you imagine how devastating it is to not be selected? Because they were testing them in maths, which we already established that the education system in Nepal is not great.
Did we?
I think that's what they said. They said people want to join the British Army to get a better education. And so I'm assuming that it's not great. It could be fine for all I know. But I'm imagining you have to learn English. You have to be good in math, so you're getting scored. And then the physical aspect. But the noodle arm thing was kind of new to me. I had no idea what noodle arm was. What the hell is noodle arm? Is that like just being double jointed? So, and then, okay, if you didn't get selected, do you have an opportunity to try again next year?
Good question.
That's my only, that's all I had. We'll continue, you guys. I know we rambled for a little bit.
Change forever. And that's the context that we're working with. 1456, Nischal. Yes, sir. 1460, Prajwal. Yes, sir. 1468, Pradeep Kumar. Yes, sir. 1470.
For some of today's young men, the news is devastating.
1499, Sugam. Yes, sir. 1500, Sunil.
The recruiting staff are very protective of them. They won't allow anyone to speak to the potential recruits. Today is too important. The chosen few will be invited back to selection in January, where they'll compete for one of just a few hundred places. Only 4% of the 10,000 applicants will make it.
They're not even fully
like accepted.
Gurkhas have been part of the British military for over 200 years, ever since the Anglo-Nepalese War, when the British were so impressed by the fighting skills of their enemy, they struck a deal to recruit them when the war was over.
There we go.
Since then, they've become one of the most feared units of the British forces and fought in every major conflict. The politest of soldiers, the most ferocious of fighters. Can today's recruits uphold a reputation centuries old?
I feel like if you're a Gurkha, it's like an elite fighting force, and there's some pride there for 200 years, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, any people who become, you know, Gurkhas, like, have that honor to withhold, you know, for the name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I got chills when she was talking about that.
South of the Himalayas and west of Kathmandu lies Pokhara, Nepal's second largest city.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've landed at Bombay Airport. Thank you for flying with Delhi Airlines. Namaste.
It's the gateway to the Annapurna mountain range, a favourite spot for trekkers. But it's also home to final selection for the British Gurkhas. It's here that the recruiting team must choose once and for all who will become the future Nepali warriors. They've already been selected as the best of the best from their regions. Now they must undergo even more rigorous tests, not least of which is the infamous Doko race. The race involves running up a mountain in the Himalayan foothills with 25 kilos of sand in a basket strapped around the forehead.
Wow.
It is our identity as a Gurkha and carry a Doko. Like we got the British Elite Force, like the Para, they got their own specific training. Like the commandos, they have got their own selection, and this is unique for the Gurkhas.
The day before, the sand is meticulously weighed and the Doko baskets carefully laid out. Each recruit must prepare his own.
In case of raining, they are covering their blanket by plastic. In case of rain, they will be heavier than usual weight.
And why the blanket?
Blanket because this one is quite rough, so they may scratch their skin at their backside.
How hard is the Doko race?
It is very hard, very hard.
The Doko race was only introduced in 1989. Before that, most of the young men grew up in the mountains and did this daily. There was no need for a test.
It's interesting. He was carrying the weight on his shoulders, but then he had like extra support going across his forehead. Did you see that?
Yeah, they were saying that they attach it to their forehead.
Oh,
yeah.
I completely missed that somehow.
In the very beginning, they were like, yeah, they put these baskets and attach it on their forehead.
Oh, I did not. I completely
and did
missed
this
that.
daily.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need for a
how.
test. At 5:45 a.m., the potential recruits leave camp, gather their Doko baskets, and when enough light has risen,
Hello, finishing point. This is start point, over.
the race begins.
Yes, sir. Okay, group number 1. Blue, figure 34. Stand by. Go.
It is tough as a nature of the event because it is uphill from start to the end. So my tips for the boys is do not give up. Keep going and never look up. If you look up, obviously, your weight pull you towards the ground and pull you back. So always bend down and keep going up.
Oh, it's got to be so hard on your body.
It was quite dodgy because of the weather. It rained the whole night and boys were wet this morning and their Doko was wet. The terrain itself is difficult, uphill, the steps and stones and boulders and the puddles.
No time for water stops. The recruits must complete the course in 46 minutes. If they fail, they leave selection immediately.
Wow.
At the top, it's time for a well-earned breakfast and relief at last.
Oh, they made it.
The descent is less painful, the boys singing as they go. Selection is almost complete. It won't be long now until they know what their future will hold.
Oh, I've got chills.
That's amazing. So you run up there, the ones that made it, they all get breakfast, and then they run down together. Which I don't think the descent is something that's counted against them, right? Like no,
it doesn't seem like it since they're
all
walking casually and singing.
But now they mentioned that the kids, I don't want to say the kids, the men that are training for this have done this daily for like a long time. And I don't know if that's just a part of their, normal everyday trek, as being farmers or couriers or whatever, or they just do this in preparation for this.
That's what I wondered. I mean, I think it's just normal everyday life, but I wonder how much, like if they're, carrying around sacks that are weighted and doing it in preparation.
You see people in the military wearing their ruck packs, as civilians, they're wearing their ruck packs and they're just going on jogs all the time. Like it is like they're constantly training.
Before my backpacking through Europe trip, I filled my backpack full of stuff and would go just do mile walks around town to prepare myself. Because I'm like, I don't carry around a 15, 20 pound backpack normally.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be walking 20 miles a day, I need to get used to that. So we did that for a few weeks leading up to it to
that's wonderful.
Kind of prepare ourselves. So something like this, where like you're really trying to get into something and you're being, I'll say, scored, and you need to you've got 46 minutes to complete it and stuff. I think that it would be in their benefit to sort of prepare themselves.
So, and this is training specific to the Gurkhas. So I feel as though any Nepalese are used to this. They know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
They know what to expect. So that's awesome, dude. I couldn't do it.
I don't think I want to run up that hill without a backpack. I'm looking at that and I'm like, that's steep enough that I don't want to do it.
I feel
I'll casually stroll it, but I don't want to run up it.
even the best of us, like I'm thinking about like this kind of training, I don't think anyone, like this is specific to Nepal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like unless you're a Nepalese, I don't think you're doing this. I can't see even like the best American soldier doing this. I really can't.
Nepali. Yeah.
They're not Nepalese. I thought it was Nepalese.
I mean, maybe. I've never heard the word before, but maybe.
Yeah. Nepali. The Nepali people.
Yeah.
It's the night before results day for the potential recruits, or PRs, from the west of Nepal. And to ease the nerves, the recruiting staff have suggested they put on a show. Western Idol delights the judging panel. It's clear that West's got talent.
That's fun.
The next morning, it's a different story. The young men must now say their goodbyes. If successful, they're unlikely to see their newfound friends again. Many will be heading home. In a few moments' time, they'll be invited into a room one by one and told their fate.
We see a massive spectrum of Nepali society. You know, we have people from very, very poor backgrounds who are orphans. You see everything in that room, which is why we don't allow you guys to go in there. It means so much to them to get in because a lot of them might have gambled everything on this. And, you know, it's quite a raw environment, actually.
Yeah, hard for you emotionally?
Yeah, well, I think everyone, really. You know, we are obviously emotionally invested. It's impossible not to be.
The minutes tick by painfully. The staff of Gurkha company from Catterick survey from above. If the recruits are successful, they will bound up the stairs at 1,000,000 miles an hour before anyone can change their minds. There, they will become part of the British Army, and it's over to Gurkha company to turn them into soldiers. Amongst the candidates is 20-year-old Madhav Karki. This is his fourth and final attempt and his last chance to get in before he turns 21 and can no longer apply.
Wow. Okay, so that answers our question on if you get repeat tries.
Yeah.
Also, you cannot be older than 21 to apply.
Start getting too old.
They're like, we need these real young, strong, like 21 is still very young.
It is very young.
That's insane. I wondered what the cutoff was. I did not expect it to be 21.
I don't know why the cutoff is 21, but I would imagine it has something to do with physical fitness and health.
Yeah, but 21, I feel like that's when people are like in their prime is like 16 to like 24.
Yeah.
One is nervous, is 21 and can no longer apply.
Okay, so that made me think of another question. So, it's once a year. So you can only apply once a year. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so I was going to ask if you could try as many times as you wanted before you turned 21, but then I remembered it was once a year.
Everyone is nervous. Outside the gate, the families wait, willing their sons not to appear through the railings. For those who've been unsuccessful, there is next year, if they are under 21 and can afford to make this journey again. If not, life will have to be very different. As Madhav Karki appears through the door, it looks to be good news.
I'm feeling very excited.
They really do run.
I'm feeling like I'm in the moon. So it's my dream.
Yes.
So I'm feeling very happy. No one in my family, they are in the army. I mean, I'm the first guy in the British Army right now.
You must feel so proud.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
You're in the British Army, how does it feel?
It's my happiest moment of my life.
Is it really?
Yes. It's my dream come true, ma'am.
Have you tried before?
Yes, ma'am. This is my second year, ma'am. Yeah.
And you remember what it felt like last year, so this must be so special.
Yes, ma'am. I'm very happy, ma'am. Hello, Dai.
The first thing the boys are allowed to do is phone home.
We give the boys 4 phone calls throughout the selection process. So after each stage, so after the medical, after the physical, after the education, and when they're selected, they get a phone call. And that's basically so their parents hear from them first, so no one else can sort of play games and say, oh, your son's nearly there, but I'll get him in if you give me some money. So it's to prevent that kind of thing.
Wow.
And of course, it's nice that their parents hear them first. It's always a little bit sad when the parents don't pick up and they're waiting agonisingly for their parents to answer the phone.
Hello, Mama.
I just called my father. He's just crying the other side of phone. They're so happy. I know.
Okay, Tabayaru, brave from the Pacha, Imandari from the Pacha.
With their new recruits assembled, Gurkha Company waste no time. The boys' own clothes will now be sent back to their families. They'll need a whole new wardrobe in the British Army.
They have to get all their kit and equipment, so it's like a big Christmas day. So as you can see on the table, they are the Christmas father, and then they are getting a bunch of bag. We don't know who's gonna be selected, and we don't know the sizes. So now we'll take them to the room, and then if there's a big or small, we try to sort it out within the group.
So it's like a big swapping session.
Yes.
And inevitably all the big guys will end up with a small kit.
Yeah, it will happen, yeah.
Next up, a trip to the barber.
Wow. So really just starts right away.
Immediately. They're like, you didn't make it, you get out, you did, you get up there and start right now.
And so you remember them saying like the odds of people getting selected. So by chance, I feel like there is a lot of chance because there was probably plenty of people that were eligible, but some of those people just didn't get selected.
Yeah, because I think they said only 4% of the 10,000. So of all of those that made it this far,
4%.
I don't know what the cutoff is between the first selection and this selection.
You could potentially try for this all 4 times until you're 21 and never get it, even though like you've shown up year after year, gone through the training. Like
they're very obviously very like tough and specific. They were having an English test.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be all like physical endurance stuff. I didn't think they were going to do maths and English.
Mm-hmm.
And the tailor.
40. You feel like you are a part of our army. Without wearing these suits, you're no longer civilian.
What was the hardest part of selection for you?
For me, it was a 2400-meter running race, BFT, because since I'm a grown-up all in the city, I haven't run that much. So for me to pass only, it was very hard. But I have trained hard with my friend. Then I have succeeded and passed.
The new recruits are inoculated, fitted for their Virtus body armour, and measured for their civvy outfits known as the mufti. Camp quickly becomes awash with ironing boards and boot polish, and mirror space is very much at a premium. The recruits keep none of their old belongings. Everything is
How
new.
excited they are. Careful what you wish for, though, right?
Yeah. This is a special tie. You can't find. I don't think you can find it in.
We cannot buy it. We cannot buy it.
Yeah, it's a specially designed tie for Gurkhas.
And so it's used only on special occasions, I think.
Shampoo,
soaps. We have our razor kits.
Usually the Mongols don't really grow mustache.
Yeah, Mongolians don't really have beard or mustache. Like, it's very rare in our case, man.
Yeah.
The exciting I am because son is always better than father. Because of the time, they improve. So this intake will be better than last intake, straight away. Son is always better than father.
Wow.
My son will be better than me, straight away.
पछाडी चाहिँ हात राख्दाखेरि चाहिँ तिम्रो चाहिँ मेक स्योर तिम्रो चाहिँ यो पाम चाहिँ क्रस गरेको हुनु पर्यो हुन्छ अनि यहाँनिर चाहिँ कुनै खालको चाहिँ स्लिट हुनु भएन
One of the most important new challenges this week is drill lesson 1. In a few days' time, they must parade in front of dignitaries and their families, and everyone wants it to be perfect.
Make sure front rank चाहिँ make sure के हो तिमीले चाहिँ 45 डिग्री एंगलमा चाहिँ हेरेको हुनु पर्यो बुझ्यो फेरि गोर्खा कम्पनी भन्छु त्यहाँबाट फेरि के हो पोजिसन अफ एटेन्सनमा आउने ओके गोर्खा कम्पनी
It's all about the legacy, our tradition. 15 years ago, I was like them. And then one of my section commander, his name is Captain Bhakta Sesson. I am his legacy. So he teaches me everything, how to survive, how to do the things in army. Now I'm doing the same thing to these boys. So maybe after a few years later, so one of these boys will stand in front of this place, and then probably he will say the same. The legacy will go on and on, on and on. But they will always remember us, and we will also remember them.
The recruits have just a week to get to grips with the basics before they fly to the UK. There's a lot to learn, and they'll need their new comrades, their numries, to help them out every step of the way. Instructors from Gurkha Company in Yorkshire's Catterick Garrison await the arrival of their new recruits.
Oh yes, everyone is looking forward for this day.
Because Gurkha Company would have been quite quiet, won't it?
It is, yeah, it is quite quiet when the boys are not in the camp around, and then we just feel lonely when the boys are not in.
Soon enough, they appear, safe into this foreign land, which from now on will be their home.
Can you imagine the culture and just shock of like getting on some of the, I can't say if, you know, they've been to the UK before, but like, I can imagine for most, they haven't been. Like, I feel like it's such a long journey. I mean,
and for them to say that it's one of the poorest places too, I think a lot of families probably can't afford, you know, big vacations like that. It's for them to go from, you know, just normal like teenager time period into your normal civilian life, and then going to learn to be a Gurkha and learning all that is involved with that, but then also being in a completely different country, different customs, different, like everything is different. Yeah, it's like it's a lot of really big changes.
Structure.
They're going through a lot.
Yeah.
It's really unknown area when you come into the UK. When I recall my memories, it's exciting as well as a bit daunting as well. You don't know what's coming up. So a bit excited. And on the other hand, you're away from your families as well. So you've got lots of emotion in your mind going through.
It's been a long journey to get here. Years of training, months of tests, examinations and interviews. But this is only the beginning. They will fight for this country and this queen now. A job that will change their own future and the fortunes of their families.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to our channel or leave us a comment below. And don't forget, you can find more exclusive content on our website, forces.net.
Actually,
she's buff. She looks like she trains with them. Look at those shoulders.
Yeah.
She works out.
She's what we like to call yoked. What'd you think of that video? That was so eye-opening.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I was actually quite emotional through most of it.
I was too.
It was really fascinating. I honestly, I wish it was longer. I wish we got to see more. I have questions they answered and questions that they didn't answer. And I would like to know if there's another video that we can follow up with this one on. So if you guys know of a good one, please leave it down in the comments. This was really, really, really interesting.
Yeah, it was spectacular. I didn't know this kind of shit existed in the world. Okay. I didn't know that countries recruited from other countries. I feel like it's unethical, but also I feel like it's not, like, you know, so I'm like of two minds about it. because the opportunity is granted to the Nepali people, but also like the British Army gets to kill non-British citizens. So it's like, that's a little fucked up.
So yeah, that's my question is, once they get accepted as Gurkhas, do they automatically also get British citizenship? Do they not get it at all? Do they need to like finish do they have a specific enlistment period where it's like, oh, you're in for X amount of years, or you're in for like, when does that end? Do they choose that? How is it decided for them? Do they get citizenship after that point? Like, how is it changing the lives of the families with money? Are they making money? Do they send money home? Is it, if they get citizenship, they stay there, they make more so they can send more? Like, I've got questions about like that whole aspect of it.
And so are there more? Are there more agreements with other countries? Let us know down the country. Let us know down the country. Let us know down in the comments. What else, you guys are doing? But
yeah,
this was a great watch. I really enjoyed it. I liked seeing just the whole thing, just knowing that this exists and there are men that like go out and this is what they strive for is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest honor. It's the greatest self-sacrifice I've seen.
Mhm.
And it's just a different, like, I'm not accustomed to that. So it's just nice to see.
It's very different. The discipline and the pride in these young men is just astonishing.
It's astonishing. Like, man, the British really struck gold when they made that deal 200 years ago.
Yeah.
So they knew what they recognized it. And, but you guys, that's our time. Let us know down in the comments what you thought of this video. Let us know if you guys know of any Gurkhas in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know. All right. That's our time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.